Hi, Joe Cerrone.
And Al Rosen.
Welcome to CAD 118, Advanced AutoCAD, in our weekly Zoom classroom meeting. All right, so as we start to continue with the course, Module 10 will be our last module. And so Module 10 is fairly straightforward. It's working with cameras and lights. We're going to skip over Module 9. I did go through and create content for that area, but as I looked at it in Module 9, it's just on printing, which we've covered in CAD 117, creating named views and viewports, and then creating different views. And so I didn't feel that this content was going to be something that we had to have for the course. And so you're welcome to go through and work on the textbook exercises for that as bonus. But we're going to move into 10, which has better content. And it's on cameras and lighting and creating and controlling cameras. So it's really great if you're creating a portfolio, or if you ever have people that are interested in remodeling and creating different concept drawings. I know we've done this with classrooms at the Skokie campus, and so we're going to take a look at that. So creating cameras and lights, basically there's two exercises. There's practice exercise 10.1 and 10.2. We can download those exercises. I did create a video for 10.1, and I'll add a second one for 10.2. So let's get started. If we go into practice exercise 10.1, what we'll do is we'll download that, and then we'll open that. And so what we have is this residential building. It's really not a real model. It's just kind of an application that we can go ahead and work with. And then if we go and we take a look at our chapter on cameras and lights, let's make that a little bit bigger. What we're going to do is we're going to create a camera in our drawing. And so we're going to go to the Visualize tab, and we're going to turn on a camera. And so to do that, what we would do is in AutoCAD, I'm going to maximize that. I have the Visualize tab enabled, and when I did this exercise the first time, it wasn't on. And so if you right click in an area here like this, show tabs, and the Visualize tab is not on, you won't have it here. And so you can go to any blank area in the ribbon and turn it on, and then we can go to the Visualize tab, and then we can do things like work with cameras. And so as we look at the Visualize, here's my cameras tab, we can create a camera. Let's take a look at the instructions for that. And so if we come back here to our chapter 10, they talk a little bit about creating a camera, and then we'll create a camera, and we want to have object snapping enabled so that we can locate that camera at specific points within the drawing. And then we'll control that camera and create these different previews with grips, changing some of the properties. And then what we'll do is we'll go through and locate that camera as it tells us in practice 10.1. And so we've got the exercise open. We've opened practice exercise 10.1. We're going to go to the camera tool, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a camera, and we're going to place it in a point near the entrance. The outer base layer has already been previewed, and what we'll do is we'll just basically show how you can display things with the camera and basically save and close that. It's a fairly straightforward exercise. And so here we are in our exercise 10-1, and we're going to go to create a camera. And so we'll create a camera. Try it again. And then it wants to know where the location of the camera is. And so I'm going to locate the camera over here right by the main entrance door, and then I'm going to make the focus right here to the main entry. door. I'll name the camera, and so I'll call it front door cam. Enter. And then what we'll do is we'll exit, and we have that camera here now. And if we double click on that camera, we can then get the camera viewing information. And so we can set that up conceptual to kind of see that. And then while it's live, we can actually go and see what the camera looks like. And so we can come over here, adjust our camera height. And we can move our camera in a little bit if we want to. Looks like I have my ortho on. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. No, it looks okay. So I should be able to grab this grip and just kind of turn it and move it. And that's how we would go about creating a camera view. We can also take a look at our textbook assignment. And we can add a second camera. And so what it wants us to do is to put a camera on the rooftop and then put a camera at one of the points on the fence. Think of it as putting like security onto your house, and you want these different cameras. And so we can go create another camera. And then I can go through and let's put the one on the corner of this right here into the backyard. We'll create that. We'll name that fence cam. We'll exit that. And then we'll take a look at that camera view. And so there's our camera view for that. And we can take a look at that from that viewing angle. We can change different types of rendering options. And as we go through and we start to work with cameras, it's really kind of a neat thing where you can actually create paths and walk a camera around a path and create a walkthrough. And so as we take a look at some of the options within it, let's see here. I'll have to come back to that. But from a standpoint of creating the exercise, we'll create camera 1. Here's our other camera, and then we'll create a third camera. And I'm not sure why they put it on the rooftop, but it is. And maybe what we want to do is have that to the main entrance door where we can see. We'll call it our roof cam. And we'll exit that, and then we can adjust the field of view for that as well until we get something that looks about right. And as you start to work with 3D and with some of the elements here, we can maybe focus that over here, change some of our points so that would be our view of the front entrance. And that's what we have set up for that. In the layout, what they have here is they basically have the top view of it. If we were to right click on our layout from template, we can always go through. I think I have some templates in downloads. We put an architectural title block on it. We'll just go with an elevation. Double click within the viewport, view, 3D view, southeast isometric. And then we can set that up as a conceptual visual style. And it looks to me like maybe I want to turn this the other way. And so as I look at my views, we want to be able to orientate maybe to the northeast or the northwest, maybe even better. Yeah, that looks like the view that they have. I'm not going to set this at a specific scale, but I will lock that in. I'll double click outside of the viewport. And so this is what we'll turn in for our camera views for Lab 10-1. If we look at Lab 10-2, what we're looking at is creating lights. And so as we create lights, that'll give us the ability to add different elements for creating rendered views that have materials on them and things like that. And so we can go through and take a look at creating a spotlight on this 10-2 drawing. And so in 10-2, we're going to open up the practice exercise, and we're just going to create some lights within the scene to be able to add and be able to view that. And this is a great way to work with mechanical drawings as well. I may ask you, Al, to kind of chime in because this is an area I think that you're better at than I am. If we go back into the D2L and we take a look at, looks like I'm in a different section here. Let me just go and grab the right one. 118. And here's our content. We can go and grab practice exercise 10-2. We can open that. And so here's our exercise. It doesn't have any lighting in it at this time, but what they want us to do is to go in here and to change the visual style to realistic. And then what they want us to do is to be able to set our location to Los Angeles and to be able to use the light panel and add some lights to it. So Al, let's see if we can maybe figure this out. Here's our drawing right here. We can go through and set up our location. Geographic location. You know where I would find that Los Angeles?
Which button did you pick when you picked out sun location?
Let's go up here. I use this one right here.
Well, on the one next to it.
This one here?
No, there's an arrow next to where you had it.
That
right
one?
there. Yeah, and set location. Left click.
Oh, nice. Let's go with the map.
Yep.
Say yes.
And you have to pick out United States, of course, North America. And you can put down an address there or location.
Yeah. So let's see if we can go. It said Los Angeles.
Pick a spot. Left click on it.
Next. So it looks like it wants an address. Let's put,
what address they want.
let's put the college address in here. There we are.
You left click on the blue button.
Right here, right?
Yep.
And then we'll say next. it populates all that information
Yes.
into our graphics, and we can just say,
And if you don't want you want it units. This is millimeters. You want to go down drawing units. You want to go inches. And there it is.
all right.
And then you can also set the time zone. So if you don't want that time zone, you can click to a different time zone.
Yeah, we'll keep that.
Okay.
So we've got our geographic location set. Is there anything else that we need to do to this?
Well, you have to click on one of those locations, please. Click on any one of those and see what happens. Yeah, they're fine. Hit next.
So let's set a point for that location. We'll put it right in the middle of this coffee table. And we'll say 90 degrees. Does that sound right?
Yep.
There we are. There's our geographic location that we have set up. And then what we can do is we can go and set a light in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's go ahead and do that. Put a camera in there. So back to our visualized panel. And then if we wanted to create a light, let's create a light. Maybe we can put a light right in the lamp like that, right?
Okay. Go create light, please. And you want this third one down.
Distant light.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's just gravitate to the center of this, if I can get it.
There it is.
It's almost there. Turn on our 3DO snaps.
Close enough for center.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go and grab something. There we are.
Okay.
Distant light directions, 1, 1, 1.
And then you have to give it a name. Hit enter. And you want to go to intensity, please. You want to put down 3 at least. And you want to go to status. Check it all. Yep, that's fine. Hit enter, please. Want to go down shadow, please. As I believe they wanted a shadow on. And you want it soft. Okay. Hit enter. Hit enter, it's fine. Okay. Exit it. There it is.
Nice. And then as we go through, why don't we put a camera in, and we can maybe put a camera on one of these corners kind of focusing in here, and then we can show how to add a material to it. And so let's add a camera. So we'll just put a camera right on this corner right here, and we'll focus like that. We'll call it couch cam.
Okay. So hey, stop. Go down to where it says target, please. Aim at the camera, at the light over there, lamp or whatever else. That's good. Down. Down further. That's good. Left click. And then you want to go down to lens, please. And you want to set the lens to a certain distance. It's at 50 right now. Let's get 25. Hit enter. And you want to go down to view, please. Say yes, please. And that's where it's looking at. So GPS chip is sitting there. There's the table. There's everything else. Hit enter, please. Okay.
That's good. And then let's go and add a material to it. And so while we're looking out of this camera, we can also go into materials. And so we have this material browser. Is that right, Al?
That is correct.
So we can say material browser. And here's our material browser ribbon. And if we wanted to go through and add some materials, let's see if we can maybe put this over here, docket. And then let's make this a little wider. And then let's see if we want to make something out of wood. I should be able to just drop it on here from here, or do I have to go up in
right click, please, on it. Right click on it, please. Add to, down bound. And you want to say yes, please. There it goes.
Documented materials?
Yes, please.
All right.
And now when you grab it, you can drag and drop it onto it.
Great. So let's see. Here it is. Generic wood. Drag it. Drop it onto that table. I think I did.
That's good. Then you go up to there. And you want to say hit escape.
We want to go with realistic.
There you go.
Yeah. Nice. And so you can go ahead and create these different scenes using different lighting, and then we can save this like as a bitmap, can we not, Al? And then be able
yes,
to.
sir. If you go up into render, please, at the top right hand corner, please.
Yeah, let me see if I can turn off this material browser here. Here we are. And say that again.
Top right hand corner, you will see a render in cloud.
Very good. This one right here.
Yes.
So we'll say render in cloud. We'll say OK to save it.
Yes. Save it on desktop if it has to be, or someplace in the cloud. So we'll be there.
Start rendering?
Yes, please. Might take a while to render, might not. Depends on speed. I guess it's not going to allow us to do it today.
Yeah, let's try it again.
If not, there's a render right in the center. Has a teapot in it. Just to the left of that. See the teapot in the center? No, to the right, to the left of it. Left. Up. There you go. And just click on that one there.
Yeah, let's see what it does. It's kind of working on it. I'm going to give it another minute to see how it works.
Yeah, that's fine.
There it comes. Yeah, there we are. And so we could add some more lights to this scene and do some other things, but we should be able to save this, right? Here's our save it.
Yes.
And so you can add your lighting and then save it to a file. I'm just going to put it in my downloads. We'll just call it Joe's house.
You can also snip it, Joe, if you wanted to.
Yeah, let's see what this generates. It'll give me, let's make it, I'll just go with that, see what it does. And so then we can, it's going to go and create that, and what we can do is in our layout, we can go and insert those as raster images. And so if we double click in here, we can go and view this in an isometric view. You can put your title block on here. Let's do that. Let's make it from template. Downloads, I have some in here. Here's our elevation. Double click in the view. 3D view, southeast isometric. Zoom in on that. Let's render that. I'm going to go with the conceptual, and then we can double click out of that depending on how big you want to make this viewport. Let's go and bring this over like that. You can click outside of here, insert raster image reference from my downloads. Here's my house. And then we can, it'll save that. You want to keep that file in the same place you save it. And so right now it's in downloads, but I would have been better off to put it in my CAD 136 directory, because what'll happen is you'll come back to the drawing later and looking for the associativity of it. And so this is huge. Let's try that again without snapping to that point. Insert raster image, Joe's house, open, okay, and let's just go with something kind of, let's just go with 0.5. And so still super huge, but I should be able to grab it now and work with a grip to get it to a reasonable size. And so as we start to look at where we can go with the course, what we want to do is just be able to work with some of these basic tools, so that if you decide that you want to go through and enhance your portfolio, you can go ahead and drop off camera views with lighting. I realize this isn't the perfect lighting situation, but as you go through mechanical part, you could throw a mechanical light into the background, put a camera on, and then assign materials like metal to it, and it would be sort of, is it live or is it Memorex, where you can't tell the difference between a rendered image and a real image. All right, with that, I'm going to stop the recording, and then we'll post that as our Zoom classroom meeting. Again, this is our last project. It's not real super complicated. We just want to add some lights and cameras, put them on an Oakton title block, and then turn those into the assignments folder. All right, I'm going to stop the recording and open things up for questions.